When did the person who got everything hand you the exact same insult they once used? My parents gave my brother Kyle $60,000 for college and told me to learn graphic design on YouTube for free. I was 18 with a partial scholarship to design school, just needed $20,000 to make it work. I'd been saving for 2 years working at a print shop after school, coming home covered in ink stains. Kyle never worked a single day, but that dinner changed everything. Anyone can learn to make pictures, Kyle laughed, holding his business school acceptance letter. You can learn that stuff online for free. Mom and Dad nodded like he was speaking gospel. They'd saved $60,000 total, and Kyle was getting every penny of it because business school was a real education, while design was just playing on computers. I sat there watching them hand over my future to someone who spent high school playing video games in his room. The worst part wasn't even the money. It was Kyle texting me at 2 in the morning while I was working. Nobody pays for pretty pictures. He got the dorm, the meal plan, spring break trips to network with his fraternity brothers. I got $40,000 in loans and graveyard shifts mixing ink. Every Sunday dinner, they'd praise Kyle's business classes while asking when I'd choose a real career. When I opened my company, Kyle announced one night, maybe I'll let you doodle some business cards. Family discount, $100. Something about the way he said doodle made me remember every word. After graduation, Kyle landed his consulting job while I was still filling out applications. 6 months later, I was designing flyers for $10 each, while Kyle posted photos from client dinners at steakhouses. Year 2, I finally found steady freelance work, but Kyle got promoted to senior consultant. Year 3, I joined a startup nobody heard of that paid in mostly equity. Kyle bought a BMW and called equity lottery tickets for people who can't negotiate real salaries. Year 4, something shifted. Kyle's firm lost their biggest client to an overseas company charging half the price. Year 5, they lost 3 more. Kyle survived the first round of layoffs, but not the second. He launched his own consulting firm with 0 clients, convinced his connections would save him. 6 months later, he was broke. Tried a social media startup next that died in 3 months. Then a dropshipping business that never shipped anything. Meanwhile, I kept designing for that startup, watching it grow from 10 people to 100. Kyle moved back home at 30, setting up his 4th business attempt from his childhood bedroom with PowerPoint slides that looked like middle school projects. Agencies wanted $50,000 minimum for the design work he desperately needed. Then last month, everything flipped. Microsoft bought my startup for $200 million. My lottery tickets were worth $900,000. Kyle called last week. Started with congratulations about the Microsoft buyout. His voice upbeat like nothing had changed between us. Then came his pitch about a revolutionary venture with investors lined up. Just needed to polish the presentation. Would I want to collaborate for 5% equity once funding came through? I let him talk until he finished. Told him my rate was $30,000 for a full design package. Dead silence. $30,000? That's insane. It's just making things look pretty. I waited a beat. Didn't you say anyone could do this for free online? He tried backtracking, saying we were young. But I reminded him he was 23 when he said that while I was 18 taking out loans. He played the family card next. Mom thought I should help. I asked where family was when I needed $20,000 for college. More silence. He offered to pay after funding, basically asking me to work free on promises. Mom called me selfish. Dad said Kyle always supported me. I asked them to name one time. They couldn't. Kyle made his own logo using free online tools. It looked exactly like you'd expect. One investor emailed him saying his presentation didn't inspire confidence. Another said his materials looked completely unprofessional. The third pulled out without explanation. Kyle's revolutionary venture died before it launched. He posted on LinkedIn offering business consulting services. Someone commented asking if he was the guy with the kindergarten logo. He deleted his entire profile. Mom texted yesterday begging me to help with his resume design. I told her Kyle knew exactly where to learn. YouTube has great free tutorials.